Hey guys, we are back at it again with the Disney vlogs. It's been a little bit a while. Oh my gosh. It's 9 o'clock at night and I'm trying to do this so I can get these out because I know I've kind of delayed this process. Anyways, back to it. So today is what was supposed to be our departure day. So we were officially taking some pictures around our resort to commemorate our stay, getting some last minute pictures because this would be Henry's first Disney World vacation and last Disney World vacation as an only child. So we were really trying to just soak up what's left of this trip. So we were taking some pictures around the resort and then headed to Magic Kingdom so that we could hop on the monorail. So I'm taking pictures of the front here because I don't think I ever got pictures of the Mickey and Minnie topiaries for the 50th anniversary, and I didn't want to leave without it. So got a couple of those. Now we are clearly hopping on the monorail. I think that was also Henry's first time being on the monorail during this trip, and I think he really enjoyed it. So we specifically got on the monorail because I can't go to Disney World without visiting the Grand. But on that same note, we've never spent much time at the Polynesian, and it's one that my husband is super into. He really likes the theming of the Polynesian, which I do too. But I don't know, the Grand I feel like is just like a staple, right? Well, so we were in need of some breakfast, and so we ended up going to Captain Cook's and sat outside by the pool, and there was a patch of hubgrass there that my son had met a little friend at, and they were playing around while we ate breakfast. And so after we were done eating breakfast, we went over and was talking to the grandmother that was with the little boy, and she was like, yeah, I'm worried about going home because we live in Texas and we're getting a lot of snow. And I was thinking, oh my goodness. And she was like, yeah, our flight's already been canceled and we leave tomorrow. And I was like, okay, well, we live in Missouri and I know we're getting a lot of bad weather too. I was like, how do you know your flight's been canceled? She was like, I don't know, my son's taking care of it. And I was like, okay, great. So I looked into our flight and it said that it was still going. And so I was like, well, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm sure they'll let us know if it's canceled. So as we got on the monorail to head towards the Grand, I got a text that said, your flight has been canceled and rescheduled for tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock. So I was like, oh my gosh, there it is. Okay, so now what? And right at that time, it was like 10:30 in the morning, which if you've stayed at a Disney resort, you know that when it's your checkout day, you are officially checked out at 10 o'clock in the morning. So we had already left our luggage at Bell Services, and we were pretty much like, okay, great. Now we don't have a room and we don't belong to a resort, so we can't go and say like, hey, like we're staying at this room. Can we just stay in this in this room? Which, even though I think you can do that at other hotels sometimes, I don't think Disney resorts are really like that, especially when they were super busy because of the 50th anniversary. So while we were wandering around the Grand, I was calling Disney and was trying to figure out what we were going to do because now we're stuck here for at least another night and we need a place to stay. We don't have anywhere to stay. And since we were still on Disney property, I was like, okay, let's just try to find another resort that has a room that we can stay in. So we ended up being able to book a room at the Coronado Springs. And while we were in the middle of booking, my husband was like, throw another park day on. And I was like, okay, but if we throw another park day on, we're going to have another night because we're not gonna be able to go to the park with our flight at 6 in the morning. And he was like, yeah, well, if our flight was already canceled, I doubt that everything's going to turn around and change by 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. And I was like, okay. So he was like, see if we can book another room, like for 2 nights. So they said, well, Coronado Springs only has 1 room available for 1 night, but we can book you another room at another resort. So we booked 1 room at Coronado Springs and then 1 room at Pop Century with a park day in between, which was very unexpected. So here we are, we're waiting for the boat. from the Grand to come and pick us up and take us back to Magic Kingdom so that we can head back to our original resort at All-Star Movies, excuse me. And we're all excited and hopped up because we are officially staying in Disney for a couple days longer than we were expecting, which, we have no complaints, but it was a little bit unexpected. And he was all excited. He was like, I don't want to take my picture, Mom. There we are. I think we were more excited than he was. I was like, yes, 2 more days in Disney. But we were excited because we had a whole other day to just kind of venture around Disney, which I know I've mentioned in one of the previous videos, if not every previous video of this series, that my husband and I truly, truly enjoy just venturing around the resorts and Disney Springs and things like that. So we were really excited to have a whole nother day to do that on top of, having another park day, and we were just super excited. We had rode the Skyliner on one of the previous days, but we had never rode it before, so we were like, well, this will be the vacation that we get to really just explore and do all the things. So now we've officially rode on a bus. Obviously we rode on the Skyliner a little bit, we rode on a monorail, and we rode on a boat. So we did all the I don't know, transportation vehicles that you can take. I don't know, is that all of them that you can take? I don't know. Anyways, since we had some time to, kind of kill, I guess, I don't know, we spent a little extra time at All-Star Movies because when I booked the All-Star Movies resort, I did it intentionally because I knew Henry would just get a kick out of the immersiveness that it had. Because whenever I was younger, I think I was in about 5th grade, I stayed at Pop Century Resort, and it was just the coolest thing to me. It was so immersive, and it just made me feel like this was just, it was so different. It was different from any other vacation you could possibly take. It was made for kids. And so I really wanted Henry to kind of have that feel too. So I was glad that he was actually able to venture around our resort and kind of just really truly enjoy all the small things, all the small details that the resorts have to offer. And the value resorts are so good about that, like truly so good about that. I mean, like as an adult, I would much rather stay at like Coronado Springs or, Caribbean Beach. Those are the 2 that we stayed at just recently in the past few years. But or even more than that, like the Polynesian, I'm sure is beautiful, and the Grand obviously also. But I really, as a kid and even as an adult, I still enjoy it. Shoot, I enjoy a real good theming, you know what I mean? So for future reference, if you don't know this, which I did not know this, which I am so glad and thankful this is a thing, but when you are staying at one Disney resort and you have your luggage at Bell Services, you can tell them that you are going to be switching resorts. You're going to be going to a different resort, and they will put a tag on your luggage saying where it's going to be going, so that they will transport it for you so that you can go and venture around. So we headed over to Disney Springs to kind of just hang around for a little while, and we had to take the bus to Disney Springs so that we could take another bus over to Coronado. So we headed over to Coronado so that we could be there when it was time to check in and really kind of check out the resort itself. And my husband and I stayed at Caribbean Beach when we went for our honeymoon back in 2019. And this resort is so nice. I think that they are both very nice resorts. They're both moderate resorts. They're both very nice. Definitely more my husband and I speed as far as just the luxurious feel that it has and the space that it has, and it just feels different. But I almost would say that I like Coronado Springs better. They're both very big resorts, have multiple bus stops, that sort of a thing. But I like the rooms of Coronado Springs better. And the theming of both of them are both really nice. I think maybe this one was just different to me. I haven't ever been there, so I really enjoyed it. But I know my husband and my son both really enjoyed that pool. It took us a little while to be able to get to our room, so luckily we took our swimming suits out of our luggage so that we could swim, because we kind of had it in our mind that we might not have a room for a while, so we could swim for a little while until our room was available. And that's exactly what we did. So it was really fun. But once we got to our room, it had the Welcome Wallace family up on the TV, which was super awesome. Fun fact, the value resorts don't do that, at least in my experience. They did not have that. And so then we went to Disney Springs and had a little bit of dinner. We ate at the food truck. It was like the mac and cheese food truck. I can't remember what it's called though. But I got the Cheetos mac and cheese, and my husband got the lobster mac and cheese. And then we ended up getting dessert afterwards, which I think my son got gelato from somewhere, and I got a strawberry shake from Deluxe Burger, which was delicious. And then here's the lovely Coronado Springs at the end of our trip and the end of our day. It's so pretty.